Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the talk of Vetter Pharma this afternoon. My name is Hermann Piana. I'm the Key Account Management Team at Vetter Pharma International. And I would like to talk a little bit about topic navigating the future of aseptic manufacturing, how partnering with a CDMO can help. A CDMO stands for Contract Development and Manufacturing Organization. And that's basically what we believe we are, trying to develop and manufacture, in particular, aseptic compounds. We've been doing that since about 30 years. And of course, we are interested also what the future may bring. Nobody knows exactly what will happen in the future, so we try to combine and collect our thoughts, what we expect and what a lot of our customers expect. That will bring in the future and how we can prepare ourselves as best as possible. What I'm going to talking about is the changing market we are all in, some challenges in particular in the aseptic manufacturing area, some ideas how a CDMO like Vetter can help, what we really bring to the table, and with one example I try to illustrate that with an innovative solution as part of our new sterile filling line for prefilled syringes, where we really have included a number of innovative features that may meet future requirements. A short summary, and at the end, one slide. I would briefly like to introduce our company to those of you who are not too familiar with us. So, what do we see in the changing global pharmaceutical manufacturing market? The global drug spending will grow from about 950 billion in 2011 to about 1.2 trillion in 2016. This is great news. So we are all in a healthy, growing market. However, the market share of developed countries will decrease from about 63% to about 57% in 2016. Also a major shift. Again, good news, because drugs and treatment will be available to many more patients in the future as it has been in the past. Branded drugs will also increase from, let's say, about close to 600 billion, which is a 63% market share in 2011, to about 645 billion, 53% market share in 2016. Well, that's not such a high growth than the overall growth. And the reason is, you see on the top corner on the right side, that generic spending will grow from 240 billion to about 430 billion in 2016. So a big part of the growth will be in the generic area. But if you look down now also on the left side of the button to the biologic spending, this in particular will grow from 157 to about 210 billion in 2016 over those 5 years. And if you compare that to the overall growth of the branded drugs, you could argue that the majority of the growth in the branded drugs market will be in the biologics area. It's pretty much about 50 billion growth in both segments, so that matches nicely. On the other side, with the generic spending, we have seen patent expiries will reduce and eliminate brand spending by about 127 billion euros between 2011 and 2016. A major, major challenge for the pharmaceutical industry. It's widely been discussed and written about. I don't think I need to go into details. On the other side, an average of about 37 innovative products at an average will be launched every year in those years through 2016, including therapies for diabetes and cancer. And we believe this is also a significant change from what we have seen some 5-10 years ago. The number of new drugs being approved increases, but obviously the volume per drug decreases. So we see more special drugs, a lot of orphan drugs for treatment of individual needs. And it's not surprising that in particular therapies like diabetes and cancer are increasing. This has to do with an ongoing demographic change. people are getting older these days than it had been 20, 30 years ago, and in particular in an elderly patient population, these diseases like diabetes and cancer are more prevalent than in younger years. And at the end, finally, also we see a trend towards home care, and this is true in particular for injectables and aseptic manufactured products, where administration is not as simple with a pill you can take every day, but has to be injected. So devices are here really coming and gaining more importance. What does all these trends mean in particular for the aseptic manufacturing area? That's the business where we as Vetter are in particular. We see, as mentioned, erosion of a blockbuster model, more products, more smaller products. So we expect that our customers will expect from us in return more flexibility to efficiently produce various batch sizes and smaller batch sizes in particular. We see more innovative, however, much more complex products coming up. We will see, and this is a clear trend we see over the last 5 to 10 years, have to accept and embrace more product-specific manufacturing processes. In the area where we are in, aseptic manufacturing, the times where you have a liquid product compounded, do a single filtration and fill it, where the compounding process is also very simple. These times are, I mean, these products still exist, but for the majority, I think these days are over. We see much more complex products coming up, microparticles, suspensions, complex compounding procedures. Sometimes the last API manufacturing step has to be done in situ before we can fill, and all these things. We also see regulatory requirement increasing tremendously. And here are some buzzwords like quality by design, process analytical technology, and product quality lifecycle implementation. These are not really buzzwords only. We see it daily in our discussions with the customers and the authorities. The FDA in particular tightened its reins. When you develop a new product and submit to them, they will ask much more and many more specific questions. Why have you chosen this type of syringe? Why this siliconization level? Why this stopper? Why do you design your filling process in that way and the other way? How about dose accuracy? And all these things are much more scrutinized than this was 10 years ago. So you have to bring much more data. And of course, also on the other side, you have to define your processes much more to meet today's GMP requirements. We've seen that on a shop floor daily. The FDA had visited and inspected us 6 times already since beginning of 2012. So in the last 2 years, less than 2 years, we at Vetter have observed 6 FDA inspections only. Unheard of before. And I can tell you what they expect from us on our shop floor daily operation. These requirements increase every day. So we have to invest and constantly be up front here to meet these requirements. On the other side, we see intensifying competition and cost pressure, in particular in those products that are off patent. So we need efficient processes to ensure drug safety despite rising costs and shorter lead times. And as already mentioned, growing home care segment with a greater focus on the patient, new manufacturing and drug delivery technologies. 10 years ago, you had a syringe on the market that was fine. Today, you talk about auto injectors, pens, injection devices, needle stick safety. All these things are now very common. How can a CDMO help in that complex arena that's we are facing? We believe it's in particular 3 areas: expertise, technology, and systems. On the expertise, an in-depth knowledge of complex compounds, the global regulatory environment, and GMP manufacturing practices. I alluded to that already a little bit. Technology, ongoing investments in state-of-the-art equipment, and filling technologies, and systems, which is more has to do with managing and defining process, more soft factors. So really processes and procedures designed to efficiently provide quality and at the same time regulatory compliance. We will now talk in the following 10 minutes about 4 or 5 areas in particular: quality and safety, reliability, efficiency, and flexibility. On the reliability side, these days we believe this can only be guaranteed with technical innovations to enable really end-to-end monitoring. Also an inquiry more and more coming from FDA that you monitor your product and your process constantly. You do not only just validate a process and then you don't look at it for another 3 or 5 years. We are moving into continuous process verification. So with each batch produced in addition, you constantly revalidate basically your assumptions and your process. So a total change in, let's say, perception how the FDA views process validation. Efficiency. Expertise and technology specifically designed to optimize yields of expensive biotech compounds. If you imagine you have a branded drug where the API value itself can easily range from 10 to 20, sometimes 30 or more euros per single unit, and you lose a few thousand units due to an effect during the filling or an effect that you have to sort out some units at the end during visual inspection, you can imagine what this means with respect to losses on API value. So yield, in particular, if you're in the area of biotech drugs, is a very, very important aspect for our customers. And of course, also flexibility. Standard solutions as well as very tailored individual solutions. I show you now an example of an innovative high-volume aseptic filling line where we try to include some of these aspects in the design of a new line that we are ready to meet these future challenges. This is the new high-speed filling line that we are or have brought on stream already. It's in GMP production. We have the first products already on this line. It's a line with capable of filling pre-sterilized syringes for novel standard substances, including complex vaccines and also other biologics. It was designed with the capability of filling formats from 0.5 ml all the way up to 3 ml. The line exists from a few different segments. We have here the tap-in feed on the left side. We have a disinfection tunnel. We have the filling machine, and then on the right side, the tap-out feed. And I will explain all these details now. We try to include in the design that the safety and the quality operating this line is optimized. The line is, the layout is strictly in restricted access barrier systems, the RAPS systems. By design, a stringent separation of the operator from the line, from the grade A area, and the area inside the walls, inside the barriers, is maintained under clean room condition grade A or class A at any time, and it's of course a fully automated process, unmanned, so there's no person inside grade A at no point in time. We included an innovative recheck and sample process. For example, we have scanners that monitor the presence of closure parts, and if a closure part is missing, the unit would not be filled. What I told you about importance of yield, you may understand that this can be very important for a customer to optimize yields. The process can be adjusted for sampling purposes, so electronically we can choose from which tub during the process samples are taken and chosen. Very important, for example, during process validation. We have an innovative sterile tub handling. The pre-sterilized syringes, of course, arrive in tubs from the manufacturers. And we can, on this line, operate in a fully automatic manner, either single or double-bagged tubs. And we have developed jointly with the manufacturer of this machine a novel automatic spray disinfection tunnel. Automatic, that means we do no longer need any manual operations in spray disinfection. And using spray disinfection technology, we can avoid heavy investments in, for example, E-beam. So we do not use E-beam, and we have shown from our microbiological monitoring data that the disinfection is as good as you can usually reach by E-beam, however, at a much lower investment cost and also lower operational cost. Reliability. We have included an automated end-to-end track and trace system with integrated scanners and printers. As already mentioned, automatic disposal of rejected units and samples, and an inline monitoring of filled volumes using an automatic weighing system. So Tara weighing of the unfilled units, filling, and then weighing again of the filled units. So avoiding to determine the extractable volume by destroying the filled units. Also, some efficiency optimization had been realized. The process is fully automated. It's with a flexible modular layout that allows, for example, rapid turnover. And this is extremely important for us as a contract manufacturer. Our customers expect us to change from one format to the other or from one batch to the other on a very short notice. And we have realized this, that the changeover time is reduced to a few hours only. So we can change one format to the other, one product batch to the other within hours. And this for a contract manufacturer is, of course, extremely important. As mentioned, 100% closure control system to prevent filling of unnecessary units of defect units. An optimized personal and material flow that's not shown here. I just mentioned that. The personal as well as the material flows are unidirectional. There's no crossover possible. For example, if an operator enters from the unclassified area, he has to gown first in grade C, then go into grade B, can only leave from grade B to the unclassified area, and once he wants to go back, he has to regown to grade C, grade B. Just making sure that we have always the highest microbiological standards. And we have done that in a similar manner with the material flow. For example, we have fully automatic washing machines, and the only way a material can come from the material preparation area to the grade C area is through a automatic washing machine, which is at the same time the interlock between the material preparation area and the classified area grade C. So simple tools and means, however, with a high effect. Optimized routing that shortens the distances between the compounding area, filling containers, and the filling station. Again, short tube length, optimizing API yields. And at the end, as mentioned, a fully automated inline weighing with non-destructive IPC testing on, for example, fill volume to achieve high quality and also optimized yields. We've built in some flexibility. The modular layout allows rapid changeovers and upgrades. The design allows for a variety of pumping systems. We have 3 different pumping systems implemented on this line. We have foreseen permanent recirculation of suspensions, possible to prevent sedimentation and to enable homogeneity. Many vaccines are done exactly that way. Stoppers can be set depending on specifications of the filling systems. Also, 2 different types of stopper setting technologies are included or in this design of the line. And the various process options enable an output of up to 800 units per minute. And with that 800 units per minute, it's one of the fastest syringe filling line that has ever been built. And it's now in full GMP operation at Vetter. Just to sum up, the future of aseptic manufacturing is getting more complex. We see that every day. We face, as a manufacturer, increasing technical and regulatory requirements. We believe that CDMOs like Vetter may offer strategic solutions to many of these challenges we are facing. And I showed you an example of an innovative technology and innovative processes included in this high-speed syringe filling line which we have in operation. For those of you who do not know Vetter too well, as a few facts at a glance, we are headquartered here in Germany, in Ravensburg, southern part, close to the Swiss border. We have approximately 3,000 employees. Last year's sales were around 360 million euros. And we have about more than 25 years of experience in that area of aseptic filling, in particular of syringes. We are an independent company, still privately held. And we do not have products of our own on the market, so we try to make sure that there's no conflict of interest with our business and our customers. We work with the world's leading pharmaceutical and biopharmaceutical companies. On the left side, you see a few names and logos of our clients, at least some of our clients who have allowed us to use these names and logos. It's by far not a complete list. And at present, more than 25 customer products with FDA approval. I think we need to update this slide because we just added a few recently. We are also lyophilization specialists for lyo vials and our lyo dual chamber systems. And last but not least, but that doesn't mean that it's least important, our expertise with the global regulatory bodies, including FDA, EMA, and of course, PMDA from Japan. And with that, I would like to close my talk. If you have any questions, feel free. And if you don't dare to ask questions here, feel free. We have our booth just down the corner here. And we are happy to talk to you. And yeah, thank you.